So the very first machine that I purchased was a U-turn, I believe it's called the Terminator. It's the 4 head units, 4 canisters, and square configuration, circles around and around. This was the first purchase I made, and I managed to pick it up fairly cheap because it was a marketplace find. And this was the very first machine that I broke into the business with as far as vending goes. I'm not upset about the purchase. I'm happy about it because I think when you start out for the first time in vending, you really need to do a lot of research. There's a lot of things that I wish I had knew before I got into it. See, I started out just wanting to get into vending. I'm wanting to have my own machines out there. I always walked into an establishment somewhere and I saw where they would have these machines against the wall, and I thought to myself, I'd like to have one of those. I'd like to have a slew of them around town, something that I can call my own. And it's amazing because it doesn't always work out that way. But as I got older, I had the ability to basically pick up a couple and do just that. So if you're going to start out for the first time in gumball machines, I recommend to do a lot of research. When you buy your first machine, and however you buy it, either used or brand new, there's a lot of companies that you can go with. But once you get an idea of the type of machine you want, whether you want the single head, the double head, the triple head, the 4-way, once you lock in on that, then once you decide on the style that you want, because there's a lot of different styles. There's like a beaver style, there's the Northwestern, the Acorn style, the LYBC, the U-turns. There's a lot of choices that you can make to get these certain types of machines. But once you pick it, you need to research it. Research the company. Study. You need to make sure that the company's still in business. Learn about the repair parts. Watch YouTube videos on people repairing these machines, because ultimately they do break. There are defects in these machines. Every machine that's out there has a pro and a con, and some have more cons than pros. Others are really well built. I'll give you, for instance, this is one of the things I learned. If you buy a machine, try to stay away from anything that has a plastic mechanical coin receptor or coin mechanism. You don't really want plastic. Metal is truly the way to go because the longevity is there. It'll last longer. You'll love yourself more for doing that. I started out with a U-turn, and all 4 coin mechs, they're plastic and they're not well made. Now, when I bought it, the first thing I did was I tore it down because by nature I like to tear things down and then build them back up. I love to see how things work. It's very important to understand how your machine works in order to fix it, because repairs are going to be a part of the issues. And one of the biggest drawbacks to the U-turn is the fact that their coin mechanisms are plastic. Not a very good plastic, and everything is cheaply made. It's a great machine except for that small detail right there. Everything else about it I can live with. I actually like the machines. I liked it so much that I bought 5 in total. And one of them was heavily used. The other 4, slightly brand new. There's a story behind it, but they were mostly brand new. They were never put in service. But the first thing I found out when I put it into service is that the coin mechanism wouldn't work properly in certain ones. So I had to take time to deconstruct the coin mechanism, see what made it work, and then try to find the flaw in it and then try to fix it. That ain't easy to do with a company that's no longer in business. There's no literature on it. You don't see these repair videos anywhere. But that's what I did. And I actually learned how to modify them a little bit to make them work for you. Eventually I'll do a video on showing how you to do that. Oddly enough, all you need is a piece of plastic and a razor blade, and you can pretty much make it fit the way you want, or work the way you want. But aside from that, overall, good purchase. The only other thing that I would recommend, if I may, is other than the research, you really need to kind of stick with the brand, so that when you go to buy replacement parts, you don't have to struggle with these things. I have searched Marketplace, Facebook, candymachine.com, candystore.com, eBay, Craigslist. There's a whole slew of places that you can buy this stuff from, but there's no literature telling you what you should be getting. None of that. There's none of that at all. You have to really kind of guess at it, and the only thing that you can hope for is that there are people out there who are making videos who've already done the legwork for you that you can watch, and unfortunately there's not a lot out there anymore. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of people out there who were vending earlier, like pre-pandemic, that are no longer doing it anymore. They've gone into a higher calling. They've gone into vending machines. They've gone to claw machines. I'm still trying to do things from the beginning. I'm still working with gumball machines and candy vending machines. I like that. I like the way it is. Some people said it might be a bit of a mistake, but you know what? It's a small business. It's nothing I'm trying to get rich at. I just wanted something to call my own. And the fact that my machines are sitting in businesses, whether to make $1 or $2 or I don't know, something feels funny to me whenever somebody grabs a coin and gets something out of there and I go to collect it. It's a great feeling. It's a strange feeling, but I love it. I can't describe it because, you know, and on top of that, I've got my name on it. You know, it's funny to have your name on something that you can call your own. So I think that's pretty cool. Candy. If you get candy, and everybody has to get candy, Sam's Club, man. I tried to do Amazon Prime when I first started out, and I thought I was doing it correctly. There again, research. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that Amazon has some good deals, especially Prime. Free shipping is a wonderful thing. But the price on candy right now, with inflation, post-pandemic and everything else, it's up there. It's moved up to the point where it's not as profitable as it once was. And it's funny to say that because I never made money on candy. This is, like I said, I'm starting out for the first time, so I'm starting out on the back end. I'm trying to make money with the 25-cent machines. But I'm not, you know, they're talking about switching to 50 cents and stuff like that. But the people I know, you know, there's a lot of reasons why it's difficult to make money with these machines. Money is not, people don't walk around with quarters in their pockets hardly anymore. That's kind of a rarity. Credit is everything. You know, they got Visa, MasterCard, or debit cards. They're quick to swipe faster than they'll pull a dollar bill out of their pocket. Which, you know, but the places I'm putting my machines, I don't really worry about it all that much because it's not really designed for the public. It's, once they're in place, there's already a steady group of people that are there. So if you do place them anywhere, try to keep them in places where it's a reoccurring people that know that the machine is there so that, you know, they can benefit from it. That's kind of the deal. There's a lot of great places you can put them, and there's probably people out there who have already made the videos showing you where you can put them. But it's not as common knowledge as it once was because it's not as exercised as much. But yeah, Sam's Club is a great place to get your basics. For some reason, they stopped doing the 850 count gumballs because they were selling them at like around $22. I don't know why. They just up and stopped. I don't know if it's because of production or anything like that. You can still find them online, but that $22 price is out the window now. Now they're anywhere between $46 and $60 a box. So whatever profit you were making with them has shrunk quite a bit. It's still profitable, but not as much. But you still want to sell gumballs because it's still the best. It's still the best game in town. If you can just get one gumball machine, and I mean gumball machine with a gumball wheel and all that, throw the gumballs in there and get it planted and get it working. That's one you ain't got to worry about. It's easy. It really is easy to do. And I prefer them over the candy machines, but at the same time, my machine is a 4-way. Most of them are 4-ways anyway. So I'm having to rely on gumballs, peanut M&Ms, Skittles, and then the last tray is either going to be just like peanuts, cashews, or Boston baked beans. That's kind of my rotation. Now, I don't plan to make a lot of money with it. Again, not planning to make a lot of money with it, but I am looking to grow in that field. I think my goal set right now is to get about 10 to 11 machines placed, which is crazy to say this because as I'm just starting out, I'm already kind of close to that goal. I've got locations, I just got to get machines. But I need to get the right machines. You want to make sure that the right machine is at the right place. I didn't think about that at first. I was thinking that I would just get a regular machine and just place it, and then whatever happens, happens. But there are places that don't really benefit from the four-way. A lot of times they just want something simple. Just give me a gumball machine and maybe a slot for peanuts. And that's good. I'm going to start probably moving towards the 3-head machines, the triples, the triple XLs and whatnot. I feel like I could do much better with them because it's more condensed. They don't take up as much room. They're more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. You got the red ones, the black ones, and the yellow ones. And in certain cases, I think there's some white ones out there, but I'm not too worried about that. But they are, in my mind, better to have because you get the 3-way product. And if one product's not working out, you switch it out, move it to something else. It's not a big deal. With the with 4, you give them too many choices, and not all of them are great. I have to explain that later, but you have to kind of trust me on that. I got customers who, from my regular job, who when I go to put these machines in, or am going to put the machines in, they've already got things that they want. You know, Mike and Ike's. That's a kill. I love Mike and Ike's, but the pricing on them is so damn high. You can probably do something with them. I'm not sure if I can, but I would like to try. But yeah, candy is good as long as you can get great pricing on it. And that's another thing. When you price the candy, you really need to know how to price it. I didn't understand the process. I thought, you get like a 5-pound bag, $20, throw it in the machine, set the dial, and then, meter it out. One of the biggest lessons with doing that is if you buy a $20 bag of candy, 20 times 4, that's how many quarters you need to get back the $20. And then anything over that is good. So $20, you got times 4, 80. You need 80 quarters to go into this machine before you get the profit. And that's something to think about. 80 people have to buy from this machine before you can make success on this. So you really have to meter that out. So whatever the number to the side of the price, like $20 for the product, but to the right of it, in that small little tag, it tells you what that product costs per ounce. And it's usually like 37 cents per ounce, or 47 cents, or 60 cents per ounce. You want that number to stay in you really want it to be under 25. Anything under 25 is good, because that way you can at least meter out and get decent profit from it. I might be wrong on that, but I feel like that's a good place to start. I think Skittles, the prices, if you get it from Sam's Club, that little tag is profitable. It really is. So there's buying quantities. Buy large quantities. Usually the larger the quantity, the cheaper the price. But you still got to watch that little tag on the corner of what it costs per ounce. You got to know what this stuff costs per ounce, because when you measure it out, it's going to be a big deal. It'll be the difference between breaking even and actually gaining or losing. And when I first put the candy in the machine, I lost. I lost big time because I didn't meter it out proper. There's no guide on how to meter that out. And remember, you're only making 25 cents a turn anyway. So you're trying to stay within that window. I don't remember who did it, but they took a product, I think it was M&M's, and they bought these little tiny bathroom cups, and they lied them out in such a way that you could take in, like, every cup was a quarter. So basically a turn, a quarter, every cup represented a quarter. You take and you empty these M&M's into these cups, and the goal is to get, I think, between 4 and 5 pieces per cup. And then whatever's left in that container, that's your profit. Whatever's on that counter with those cups, that's what it takes to get that profit back, or that's what it takes to get the profit. So once you get all those cups emptied, that profit's still in the container. Now, if you've got nothing left in the container and you're actually falling short, then you've overpaid. You've overpaid big time. But if you still got product left over, you're doing great. that's probably the tail end of that. So I'm just throwing it out there, see what you say. Again, these are things that I wish people had told me about. So again, the big three: buy your candy in places that the prices are really good. Sam's Club is a great place. If you buy a machine, research the hell out of it. Really learn what that machine's about, the pros and cons of it, whether or not the company's still in business. That's a big one. That is really a big one, because if something goes wrong with that machine, you got no one to talk to. Repair parts, you're having to rely on the stock that's still out there. Now, companies that are still in business right now, that are still making these machines, that's good, because the longevity's there. You still get what you need for them. That's bonuses, all bonuses across the board. Hopefully it'll work out the way you want. So until then, this is Phil, and I'm signing off, and later on I'll try to do a better one, another video. And again, forgive me, this is the first time making videos like these. I'm not good at this ever, especially in public, so bear with me. And I'm just trying to help. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to share with you the things that I wish people had shared with me when I first started out. So until then, have a good day and happy selling.